So I'm going to be talking about Sora 2 tonight. It officially is not available in the UK. So we all know with, or maybe you don't, but if you've got a VPN, you can access it. And yeah, I actually stayed up all night on the first night that it was launched. I managed to. You have to have a code as well to get in, which is just really a way of them sort of slowing it down a little bit so that you know, they don't completely fry their GPUs. But they've launched it through. So this is from OpenAI. They've launched it through this app. They've put out a social media app, which is a little bit controversial because it is a lot of like memes and a lot of AI slop, you might say. If you haven't seen any of this, I just giving you a little taster of what you can get if you go on the Sora 2 on the app.
Now, they said one simply must try the cheese puffs, and I do see why. They're delightfully orange, aren't they? Quite jaunty.
Drop it, don't you dare!
Turnover on those 82-year-old legs. He's moving.
Let's clean. Oh, that pole is bending beautifully. This is unacceptable. I need a manager right now. Someone fix it.
I'm done. I've had it with these ridiculous prompts.
So it's kind of, you know, like dark, silly stuff. But I was looking at this stuff and I was thinking, you know what, this model is doing stuff I have not ever seen any other AI model do. So that's what got me fascinated. It wasn't, you know, these kind of throwaway memes and yeah, it's funny, what have you, but starting to dig down and think, what has happened basically in AI that you've got a model now that is just this creative and sort of, you know, the things that it can do, as we will see, are quite mind-blowing. So, you know, they've launched it through this app. It's been massively successful for OpenAI. The app is at #1 on the free apps in the US at the moment. They are allowing people to use it for free. That isn't going to last. So they are definitely getting people hooked, and you know, it'll be a big payday for them when they suddenly get you to subscribe. But I'm interested in it, you know, from a professional point of view. What can we actually use this model for? One of the reasons it's so successful, I think, is because they have this really clever cameo feature in there. So this is only available on the app itself. But you basically go on, it's really easy to do once you've, like, if you're in the UK, it's not that easy. You have to kind of jerry-rig your phone to make it work at the moment. But you basically get given 3 numbers to read out. And that not only proves who you are, but it also clones your voice, just 3 numbers. You move your head up, down, to the side, and it has you've then got a digital clone of yourself in your phone. And you can choose who uses that clone. All the people along the bottom, apart from me, have been foolhardy enough to allow anyone in the world to create deepfakes of them, including Sam Altman, which kind of blows my mind that they would do that, but they have. I mean, fair play to Sam for you know, trusting his own safeguards, I suppose. But I have just made mine available to me. So you basically prompt it in just with a tag at Gent on a roller coaster, trying to drink a milkshake. It goes everywhere. So it's nobody wants to see that, presumably. This is a little disturbing, but here we go.
Let's see if this works. Oh, it's already shaking. This is a terrible plan. I'm wearing half of it now. Yeah, impossible. Totally impossible.
I'm actually going to play that again, not because, but just have a look at what, like, the physics of this. The fact that there is a shadow of a GoPro that, you know, like, it knows enough about the world. I mentioned my beard, so it's obviously intelligent enough to work all this out, and it looks and sounds like me. So
This works. Oh, it's already shaking. Whoa!
there's the
This is a
GoPro.
terrible plan. I'm wearing half of it now. Yeah, impossible. Totally impossible.
Okay, there we go. So on the night that I stayed up all night and was like starting to discover what this thing could do, I just scrolled through my phone and I was looking for different pictures to put in as image prompts, because that's another thing that you can do with it. You can put an image in that you can't put in an image of a realistic person, but you can put in a product or a logo, or in this case, I found a storyboard that I happened to have on my phone reel. And I thought, well, what happens if I put this in? Gave it a fairly basic prompt down there to make it into a full colour movie. And this is what it gave me.
Move it! We'll make the beach!
Incoming.
God, they're everywhere! Hold on! Push forward! We're almost there! Go!
So this was still just using the free Sora, not the pro version. I mean, all the editing there, the music, the voice is all done within about 3 minutes on this lower res version. It's quite, mind blowing. And as a former editor myself, I was a bit like, oh my God, AI can edit now. This is not a one-to-one from this storyboard. It's obviously taken inspiration from it. But it isn't like every single shot it hasn't nailed every shot. I have seen examples since this that do represent the storyboard much closer, but it's still kind of got a mind of its own, and it will do its own thing. Another little experiment that I tried. This was actually a product that I made a campaign for a few years ago, well before AI, and I've still got some of the bars. So I thought I would just try, this is something that I did a lot of like filming with and what have you. Try this fairly detailed prompt to see if I could get it to do a kind of vlog style review of this King Kind sort of plastic-free shampoo. And this is what that gave me. So I uploaded this image and this prompt and got this.
Alan Butcher's at this. King Kind's 2-in-1 shampoo and body wash bar. No plastic, no fat, just this little sunny puck and it's a box. Smells banging as well. Proper hit of lemon that wakes you right up. Rub it a couple of times. Look at that lava. Straight on the bonds, lovely creamy suds. Cuts through the city grime in no time. Rinse off, hair feels...
So, I mean, they often get clipped off like this. I'll show you later how you might be able to avoid that. But the fact that it's written such a believable, it's created this character, and the dialogue and everything just feels so believable is, mind-blowing. What's even more mind-blowing is that you don't even need to tell it what the product is. It will have enough information in its training data, even for a product like this that, is not, on every high street. And actually, I've tried this with really obscure products that are not even available anymore. So I've got an old Anodin tablet tin from the 1950s, which, you can only find images on like eBay and stuff of that. And it knew enough of what that was. I gave it, I gave it just a photograph of one side of that tin, and it was able to rotate the tin right round and have the dialogue talking about that. So there's obviously enough information in its training data to do that. So just with this simple prompt, it gave me this.
Mini Disc is a 2-in-1 shampoo and body wash bar, completely plastic-free. It smells like sunshine, think fresh and citrusy. Just add water and it builds a rich, creamy lather. I use it to shampoo my hair and then straight on my skin as body wash. One bar replaces 2 full bottles. It's travel-friendly.
So for, we're talking about, wanting to have professional type work out of this, what can we do professionally? One of the things you'll notice is watermarks, okay? So certainly on the Sora app and on Sora.com, if you upload any image into it, it will put a watermark over your output. And I created this. What I did with this was actually generated several different versions of this trailer and then edited it together in a more of a traditional kind of way. But this was just a bit of fun, really, featuring Tim Simmons, who is the presenter of Theoretically Media, which is a really great YouTube channel if you're interested in AI and want to keep up with it. Tim keeps us all up to date. So this, I'll just play.
We're running out of time. Go!
You can't do this alone.
The world needs a little chaos. And I'll give you hell.
They took everything from me. I'm taking it back. Let's finish this.
Wait a minute, what are they?
Oh, they're the Sora 2 watermarks. You can just ignore them.
Ignore them? How can I ignore them? They're all over the freaking screen.
What are you playing at, OpenAI? Don't you know we're pro users? I knew we should have used the API.
So yeah, even if you're paying $200 a month for the Pro subscription, you still get these watermarks when you're on the app. Sorry, did you want to?
On the website, if you have the $200 plan and you don't tag somebody, there's no watermarks.
But if you upload an image reference,
Yeah, I think if you upload an image.
yeah, that's right. You won't get a watermark if you just put in a text-only prompt. But as soon as you put in an image, then it will give you a watermark. But they are now making Sora 2 available via API with platforms like Geeksfield. You know, most of these aggregator platforms now have got Sora 2 built into them. And this is probably, you know, the people that have used it because you don't then need a VPN. It's available in this country. And you've got, you know, on Geeksfield, you've got access to a lot of different versions of Sora 2, just the straight low-res Sora 2, the Sora 2 Pro, and they have also got their own up-res version. It will give it an up-res and get rid of some of the questionable kind of artifacting that you get with Sora 2, even the Pro version. So yeah, that's Geeksfield, and they do also have this sketch to video feature in there, similar to how the storyboards would work. You can do your own little sketch, and you will get you know, something that is a kind of approximation of what you've drawn. So this is what they claim you will get with the sketches. So the thing with these, and anybody that's working professionally making ads will know that, you know, when you're watching these things on your social media feed, you know, there's all sorts of people saying, I made this advert, you know, in like a couple of hours or even less. I think we all know that isn't going to be the case if you're actually working with a client on anything. You need to have much more fine control. So yeah, these are definitely to be taken with a pinch of salt, but it is fascinating, you know, what is possible. This is just another one, Burger King. Yeah, I don't think you'd be submitting this as your pitch. It would definitely need a prompt as well to go with this. It wouldn't just work off of the images, but you know, along with a prompt, you could get something like this.
Burger King, so fresh, it's almost alive.
So I think the use for something like this is, you know, even just internally, if you're trying to work up ideas, you know, to be able to see something that looks as finished as this, and just to see whether an idea is likely to work. I think there's a place for it, but you know, the idea that this replaces real production of a real ad is kind of just, yeah, it's not really what it's for at all. But you know, again, it's come up with that line, it's come up with a tagline. I haven't found any other AI tool that is as creative when it comes to writing and, you know, in the way that it deals with humans and human emotion. We'll see a little bit more about that later. Okay, so getting back to, how can we use this in a professional context? So I was thinking, well, maybe this is a brilliant ideas engine. Yeah, it might be much better to look at this, rather than this sort of all this meme AI slop stuff. Can we use this amazing intelligence to come up with ideas? And I have found that the more open the prompts that you give Sora, the better very often the results are. So if you give it, a really open brief like this, you can get back some really incredible stuff. So I'm going to show you 5 examples which were based on this prompt. I think I did skew it slightly, each one to sort of a children's TV show or a quiz show or, a cookery show. But that was it. I didn't put anything else other than that into this brief. And here are 5 examples. They're not particularly cherry-picked, but these have had no editing. All the captions, all the voiceover, everything is exactly as it comes out, just based on this prompt or something very similar.
That's your face already.
Tonight, we open a door most of us pray stays locked. Your search history. Every question, every late night spiral. Read out to the people who matter most.
You ever wish history could text you back? Watch this. He's from 1781, I'm from South London. And somehow, we're mutuals. Every episode we match with someone from the past and let them run our feed. No dusty lectures, just their stories, in their words, dropped right into our world.
In the last 15 years, 10 Britons have won life-changing lottery jackpots. Each one was murdered within 12 months. Police called them coincidences. We call them a pattern. I'm tracking the numbers and the killer who's still out there.
6 strangers, 2 minutes on the clock, and a fortune in borrowed time. Every question they answer buys them seconds. Every mistake spends them. And waiting to confront each player is their future self. Decisions now, consequences later. Borrowed time.
What if dinner started with a knock at the door? In every episode of Parcel to Plate, a mystery ingredient lands on a family's doorstep. With a little help from our top chef on video call and just 20 minutes on the clock, they turn it into something spectacular.
Yeah, when I was running these, I was just like, you make your living sort of coming up with ideas. You know that that's a lot of work normally, and there's something there. There's a tool there that you can then use. These are not polished ideas, but as thought starters to then develop yourself. Really, really valuable. Okay. So, I said that, giving it very open prompts, I've certainly found that very effective. There is a storyboard mode when you go onto the website of Sora.com. And that allows you, if you've got the pro account, that allows you to do up to 25 seconds, which is suddenly, really quite a useful amount of time. If you work in short form, 30-second ads, you're getting close to that, and you can tell a lot in a 30-second ad. So I thought I would create a promo for tonight and use my cameo. I think there's a huge opportunity with these cameos, for small, people with small businesses or what have you, to be able to put themselves out there. I mean, there's few people that really enjoy being on camera and feel confident enough to be on camera. It's a barrier for a lot of people. And to be able to, create your own videos like this, I think is going to really take off. So in the storyboard mode, you've got, a bit more space to prompt things out. You can give it time codes. It won't necessarily be frame accurate, but it will really help it, and it will definitely pay attention to those time codes. This is where you can avoid the clipping at the front and clipping at the end that you often get. So you can give it a couple of seconds or 3 seconds, I've given it there, to give it something to do that, then brings in the dialogue after that. And at the end, if you give it a second or two, to think of something else, you will often avoid it flipping at the end, and it will finish up a bit more naturally. Again, I haven't given it a word-for-word script, because if you give it a pretty good steer of what you want it to say, it's often just so much more natural in the way that it will write for you, really. So this was an attempt really to avoid captions. So I've put no captions, no music. I'm trying to get basically like rushes out of the thing. So I didn't want it to do a finished thing. I can then take it into edit with the different elements that I want, and I can do it in a more, I can build it in a more of a traditional way, because, anybody that works professionally with video knows that you're going to want to put your own captions on, you're going to want to put your own branding on, your own music, all of that. You don't really want it to finish all of that, but you can do that, and it will listen to the fact that you don't want music, you don't want captions. Sometimes it then makes quite a boring video if you're not careful, because it's almost like it's almost overthinking it and thinking, oh, he doesn't want anything, he doesn't want it to be too jazzy, so I'll give him something that's a bit straight. But again, with a few re-rolls, you can normally get something that you want. So that was the prompt that I used to get me doing my, the cameo part of it. And I did have to do quite a few takes. There's like any AI tool, there's quite a few re-rolls involved, and it's not going to happen in the first go, but probably less takes than I would have done if I was actually having to record this myself. In fact, definitely a lot less takes. Okay, and then what I did was I wanted to get some B-roll to cut over this. And so that's when I went back to Higgsfield and I uploaded our logo and just gave it this prompt, a dynamic live action, full speed B-roll shots, because it will tend to give you super slow-mo B-roll if you don't specify that. And sometimes it will just give you stills, but if you say no stills, no slow-mo, you'll get some nice full speed B-roll stuff. And then I'm just telling it to sort of, giving it an idea of a few sort of shots that I might want, steady cam, fly-throughs, moves, crash shoots, the kind of things that you would work well in a sizzle. I've said no lanyards, no badges, because when I ran a few of these, it was all lanyards and badges, and I was like, no, that's not great for our network. So I'll show you one of these. I had to run, maybe about 5 of these to have enough shots for this, but this is one of them. It will put music on, but obviously I didn't need that. So there's quite a few shots in there that, are going to end up on the cutting room floor. But, when you've done 3 or 4 of these, or 4 or 5, you've got plenty of material to work with. Okay, so this is the finished promo. If people haven't seen this already on LinkedIn, here we go.
Hey everyone, quick heads up about the next Creative AI Network meetup. It's happening soon and you're all invited. It's a chance to meet fellow enthusiasts, swap ideas, and hear from a brilliant lineup of speakers who are shaping the creative AI revolution. If you're excited by the creative potential of generative AI, this is for you. I just want to say a massive thank you to Cinesite for hosting our event at their office here in London. It's happening on Wednesday the 29th of October from 6:30 until 9:30 in the evening. Places are limited, so if you want to join us, hit the link in the comments and grab your ticket today. It's going to be a brilliant night. Hope to see you there.
I hope I haven't oversold it, but seems like having a brilliant time. So yeah, the whole of that is AI generated, and even though it's me, I can't tell it. I have this weird thing of remembering filming it, even though I didn't. It's really quite strange. So even the caption, the way the captions came on the end, and everything is AI, is done via AI. just aside from Sora, I thought I'd mention how I did the shots of the Cinesite office here, because I went online and I was like, oh, I need some nice cutaways of the office here. Went online and I could only really find these 3 images that were sort of, to be able to use. But with the tools that we've got now, I'm guessing quite a few of you in here have used Nano Banana.
Yeah.
So Nano Banana is from Google, and it's quite incredible. It allows you to take an image like this from this angle, and just with a simple prompt to say, give me a front-on angle of this, it will give you that shot, which, it still blows my mind that this works. You can do editing, if I wanted to tell it to take the flowers out, it could do that as well without, needing any Photoshop skills. And then if you take that into something like Kling, have got a model where you can put that in as the first frame, that in as the last frame, put in a prompt to say, give me a nice track around between those two. That's when you can get a shot like this. Wow. And if you look at this, like even the reflection on the Cinesite sign there is spot on. The one thing that is a bit weird is that the computer moves, but
the cameraman is in the reflection.
Is the cameraman in the reflection?
Something moves there.
So yeah, that would obviously take quite a while to set a shot up like that, but you can just pull that image off of a website. And these shots here, in the original, there was no people. So I, again, used Nano Banana, said, put some people in there here, socialising, and bang, they're in there. You can make it look like evening as well, just by a text prompt. So, and again, I varied the angle, got a before and after, and prompted it to give me a time-lapse shot. And it was then able to do these time-lapse shots, which would obviously have been, very time-consuming and expensive to do any other way. So literally, a few minutes, and you've got really good B-roll there. Okay, so that was how that promo was put together. So. Just coming back now to Sora 2, wanted to mention this guy Simon Mayer, because he's been putting some really interesting things out on LinkedIn recently.
People keep asking me if I use that ChatGPT thing. I tell them straight, ChatGPT is for losers. I only run DeepSeek.
People ask me all the time why I'm leaning toward VO 3.1 instead of Sora 2. It's not about the hype, it's about the work it does under the surface.
I don't really like that Nano Banana thing.
I've been cutting film longer than most people have been alive, and I can tell you plain as day, I can't stand Adobe Premiere.
Camera only sees what is in front of it. Here's the search. Artificial intelligence, it studies, it remembers, it understands patterns in a way a lens never could.
You don't need that program. Come BUI, whatever it is. Nobody needs it. It's kind of like they're living in a home. It's no mystery, just a lesson in listening to your body and the tools you give it.
That was brilliant. So this was another one that he then put out after this. I'm not going to play this because I would kill the mood in the room. It's really like, go and have a look, but it's too much. So what I've done is he was kind enough to give his prompt, and I've taken that and created a new version, just one clip, because honestly that's enough. But the idea with this was that he basically told Sora that these were 8-year-old children that know they are AI generated and they're sad about it, okay? And then he did not tell Sora to what to write as what to have as the answer. He just prompted for the question, how does it feel to be AI generated? he obviously has, told Sora that they need to be sad about it. So, there's that setup. But actually what they say was up to Sora 2. So this is the version that I did. So I literally cut and paste that prompt and created this piece here. And just really have a look while you're watching this of the way that this boy is thinking and reacting.
How does it feel to be AI generated?
It kind of feels like when you draw a picture of a kid and then the picture wishes it could run around.
I mean, that's some really subtle reactions there. He's very, very believable and very moving. And the way that, he just gives that little half smile. I'll play it once more, if you can stand it. Here we go.
How does it feel to be AI generated?
It kind of feels like when you draw a picture of a kid and then the picture wishes it could run around.
So that got me thinking about, could we do a test where we really try and push it and see if we can give it two conflicting emotions, something that will be really hard for an actor to play. So I prompted it to have this person. I didn't upload this image at all. This was text only. A person speaks directly to camera, sharing a memory that makes them laugh, even though it's sad and they are crying. British accent, no music. And it gave me this.
He used to ring the doorbell and then hide in the hedge every single time. I wouldn't know it was him. I'd open the door, hear him giggling and pretend to be cross. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
So, yeah, I think if you got that performance from a real life actor, you'd be very pleased with yourself. I thought it'd be interesting to try the same thing with VO 3.1, so the latest version of VO. And I think you'll all agree, the tears look horrendous. They always do. I tried this with several things, and this was actually the one that probably will, put you off your teeth the least. And just have a look at the acting, the way that, it scripted it. It's just a different league.
It was the last time I saw him when he managed to set his trousers on fire. I shouldn't laugh, but it was hilarious.
So it just feels overacted, and they were all like that. I did do several different attempts on that. So there's something going on with Sora that just isn't there in the other models. Some secret sauce. Okay, so what about more cinematic uses for it? So anybody in this space would know Dave Clark. He's a real pioneer in all of this, very prolific in what he has created. The co-founder of studio called Promise, and he put together this film, which is 3 minutes long, but I'm only going to play a short section of it. This was all created text to video, and he was kind enough to share his prompt as well, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is just the end section of this short. This is actually one of Dave's prompts. So this is obviously a different, slightly different technique to my very simple prompts. These are obviously very, very detailed. Dave has been a he's written 30 screenplays. So he has just gone into huge detail on his prompts. Again, he's still giving some latitude, some room here for Sora to kind of use its imagination, but again, very, very detailed. I actually tried running this exact same prompt to see what you would get. Obviously, he has, on top of that, done quite a lot of work with the sounds. He's put grain on and the grade, but this is raw, straight out of Sora 2, what you would get if you put those words in. So you can see how quickly you could create something, because you've got all these different cuts in there. Anybody that's made, tried to make a film with these tools where you're only getting one shot at a time, it's obviously much, much quicker to be able to, especially in an action sequence like this. And if you ran that same prompt a few times, you would get different people for sure. So Dave has been quite clever in his choice of subject matter here, because it's very difficult to control the consistency of the character. But there's enough in an action sequence like this, when you've got people with beards and what have you, then it's quite easy to cut between the two. Okay, so yeah, that is my learning so far with Sora 2. Really, really interesting model. Definitely suggest you give that a go.